Hi, everybody!
Oh, she snuck it in. Oh, she did a sneaky load.
Scare me.
We're
We've
really
been live for minutes.
Net neutrality or losing net neutrality will impact everyone, and it will impact the field of suicide prevention.
Full disclosure, net neutrality confuses me. I know enough to be utterly confusing about it.
The government is going to hold a vote on whether or not to give a whole bunch of power back to the companies that provide internet. And those powers include whether or not they could limit their bandwidth for certain websites, certain streaming services, certain social media apps.
So they can kind of piecemeal this and make you pay for more and more so that you have, and you pay the most, right, to get access to the entire internet.
But it's basically like a deregulation.
That worked well for the banking industry.
Yeah, it really did.
And nobody really knows.
People with fewer means won't be able to get to certain things or won't be able to get to them easily.
It can affect two sides, right? It's going to affect like folks like me and other crisis centers and the suicide prevention community, providers and all, everything wrapped up with that. And then it's going to affect the people that we actually are trying to serve.
Currently, when you pay for an unlimited internet connection, you get access to the entire internet at the same speed.
If you have a crisis center, say, or some kind of suicide prevention service that's on like a specific, domain host, you have to check to make sure that your domain host is then working nice with all the internet service providers out there. And before they didn't have to do that.
What is driving all of this is the Netflix effect, because they account for such a large portion of internet traffic on consumer and even corporate networks.
Like a truck that's delivering goods to like a Walmart or whatever, and they hit a toll road and they get charged a higher toll, and so the company shipping the goods has to pay more because there's the road and there's the truck delivering it, and then they pass that on in the prices.
So where the money will ultimately go, nobody actually knows. We just know that it looks like the prices are going to go up no matter what.
Net neutrality is really a way to say that internet providers fall under the common carrier rule, which goes way back to the 30s, making sure that the phone system was protected and that everybody had equal access to the phone system and all this kind of stuff.
This is not a question of whether the consumer will pay or not. This is a question of how the consumer will pay.
People are panicked about this. I don't think we're going to, even if this vote goes through, I don't think we're going to notice any goddamn difference. Certainly not for years.
If this does happen and we start worrying about what we can and can't potentially say, is that going to change the way that the end user is interacting with the crisis counselor?
One of the things that they're going to do with this new ruling is instill better transparency, that in fact people will have access to what deals are being made so that we can actually know what the hell's going on.
As soon as the barrier is put in place, someone will figure out a way to get around that barrier, and then that will spread like wildfire.
Now, in terms of crisis line work, and it's works we do, it's probably not going to have any impact. Most people are connecting to us over phones.
I don't want to know what this will be like for all of our clients who rely on online supports.
Probably the biggest impact that I would expect this to have would be on telehealth. And people using, because video is in fact the largest bandwidth user.
Any company will take advantage of a system if that system is presented to itself.
And here's the more reading I do, nobody really knows the answers to these questions.
I need to read a tweet from Stacy Friedenthal. She says, opposing net neutrality is sort of like hating old ladies and children and puppies. In other words, only money-grubbing corporate titans could oppose it. Am I right?
It's not like a switch is going to be flipped and all of a sudden you're going to go on the internet and get hit with 30 tiers and you got to start funneling your money out. This is not like Battlefront, my friends. These are not micro transactions. You will still have access to your internet. What the net neutrality really is about is, do you want the government in control of these things, and do you want the government the one making decisions, or do you want the market and private corporations to control these things?